His mother was his first love, not his last. She was meant to teach him how to love a woman, not be his only woman. Some men don't choose their mothers over their wives because they love their mothers more. They choose their mothers because they never learned how to stop being a son and start being a man. Most wives believe their problem is their mother-in-law. Too controlling, too present, just too much. But here's what 10 years in this field has taught me. Your mother-in-law isn't the problem. She's doing what she's always done. The real problem is the man who was supposed to build a wall between her and his wife and never did. Let me explain. As men, we get it backwards, and I could see how. We spend our whole lives being taught by and idolizing our mothers, so we have a hard time understanding how anyone could have a problem with her. This is a wake-up call. Wives don't have a problem with their mother-in-laws. They have a problem with their husbands. That's who they married. Your wife isn't overwhelmed by your mother. She's overwhelmed by your silence. And those are two very different problems with two very different solutions. My name's Jordan Joachim, and I'm a licensed mental health therapist and marriage counselor who's been working in this field for over 10 years. And in all that time, I have sat across from good men who genuinely love their wives, who are quietly destroying their marriages because they refuse to do one thing: choose. In ancient walled cities, there was one person who stood between order and chaos. Not the king, not the general, the gatekeeper. His job was not complicated. He decided who entered and who didn't. Not out of cruelty, not out of power, but because he understood one thing deeply. What's inside this gate is sacred. Men, that is your job in your marriage. You are the gatekeeper of your home. And if your wife is suffering because of your mother or your family or anyone pulling at the seams of your marriage, the question is not what your mother is doing wrong. The question is, why are you still leaving the gate open? Today, I want to explain why this happens, how it damages a marriage, and what a man must do to break free from it. Before we go further, if you feel caught between your mother and your marriage, and you don't know which direction to lead, I put together an ebook called How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church. It's going to give you a practical and biblical foundation to lead your wife the way she was designed to be led. It's the first link in the description. Go grab it. Now, let's get into this. He never emotionally separated from his mother. Some men grow up in homes where mom wasn't just a parent. She was the emotional center of the universe. She was the comforter, the rescuer, the decision maker, the one who validated him. So eventually, he grows up physically. But emotionally, he never leaves at home. He enters marriage still functioning as a son first, husband second. This is how this causes problems. A wife feels like she's competing with a woman she never signed up to fight. She feels second. She feels unseen. She feels like her husband's loyalty is split. And the man doesn't understand why she's hurt, because to him, this is normal. This is how a man breaks free. He has to recognize that emotional separation from his mother is not betrayal. It's maturity. It's the shift from I'm my mother's boy to I'm my wife's partner. He must consciously choose to build his identity around his marriage, not his childhood home. His mother trained him to prioritize her feelings. Some mothers unintentionally raise their sons to be their emotional support system. He learns to keep her happy, avoid upsetting her, and to protect her emotions. So when his wife needs something different, boundaries, leadership, independence, he feels guilty. Not because she's wrong, but because it violates the emotional rules he grew up with. This is how this causes problems. The wife becomes the difficult one, simply for having needs. The mother becomes the safe one, because she trained him to serve her. The man becomes stuck between two women, one who raised him and one who he married, and he doesn't know how to choose. This is how a man breaks free. He has to rewrite the emotional rules. He must learn that protecting his marriage is not the same as hurting his mother. He must learn to tolerate the discomfort of disappointing his mom because that discomfort is the doorway to becoming a man. He fears conflict with his mother more than conflict with his wife. If his mother is controlling, reactive, guilt-driven, or used to being first place, then disappointing her feels dangerous. So he avoids conflict with her, and unintentionally is creating conflict with his wife. This is how this causes problems. The wife becomes the easy target. She gets the frustration, the withdrawal, the defensiveness, because she's the one he feels safe disappointing. Meanwhile, the mother gets the obedience, the compliance, the respect. This creates a marriage where the wife feels abandoned and the husband feels trapped. This is how a man breaks free. He must learn to face conflict with courage, not aggression, not rebellion, courage. He must learn to say, "I love you, Mom, but my marriage comes first." That sentence right there, that is the line between boyhood and manhood. He confuses honoring his mother with obeying her. A lot of men were raised to believe that honoring your parents means doing what they want. But the Bible doesn't say obey your mother forever. It tells us to leave and cleave, right? Genesis 2 verse 24 says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." Leaving doesn't mean abandoning. It means shifting primary loyalty. This is how this causes problems. If he doesn't make the shift, his wife will always feel like a guest in her own marriage. She will feel like she's building a life with a man who still belongs to another household. This is how a man breaks free. He must redefine honor. Honor means respect, honor means gratitude, honor means love. But honor does not mean surrendering leadership of his marriage to his mother. He hasn't stepped into full masculine leadership yet. A man who lacks boundaries, identity, emotional independence, confidence, clarity, will always fall back into childhood patterns. Choosing his mother isn't about love. It's about lack of growth. This is how this causes problems. The wife feels like she's married to a man who can't stand on his own 2 feet. She feels unsafe, unsupported, and alone. She feels like she has to carry the emotional weight he refuses to pick up. This is how a man breaks free. He must grow. He must build the muscles of leadership, not dominance, but responsibility. He must learn to make decisions, set boundaries, and protect the emotional space of his marriage. He must become the man his wife thought she was marrying. He doesn't realize the damage it causes. Most men who choose their mothers over their wives aren't malicious. They're unaware. They don't see that it breaks trust, it creates resentment, it weakens intimacy, it makes their wife feel alone, and it's preventing the marriage from ever becoming a true partnership. This is how a man breaks free. He has to wake up to the impact of his choices. He must see the pain he's causing, not to shame himself, but so that he can take responsibility. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. So here's the turning point. A man becomes a husband the day he says "I do," but he becomes a leader the day he chooses his wife over his childhood patterns. Breaking free doesn't mean rejecting his mother. It means stepping into adulthood. It means choosing the family he's building over the family he came from. It means becoming the man who protects his marriage with strength, clarity, and courage. A man who can do that is a man who can build a marriage that lasts. If you appreciate this message or my way of delivering it, do me a favor and give this video a like. Subscribe to get everything out of this and future series. If you want to help your husband overall, make sure to check out my ebook, How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church. This marriage-saving resource is the first link in the description. If you feel like this video could help someone else, don't be greedy. Sharing is caring. Share this video with them and let them learn something new too. I look forward to catching up with you in the next video coming up now. But until then, God bless you and your family.